Hi, welcome to Tarot Cards for Humanity. My name's Mimi. I'm with Divination by Mimi, and this is your full moon lunar eclipse in Leo reading for Friday, the 10th of February 2017. Astrologically, that's really big news, very positive news. Now, I'm not an astrologist, although I'm learning, but in Western astrology, traditional astrology, and I believe also in sidereal astrology, which is based on the constellations as they are, in both situations, it is a full moon in Leo. And in Western astrology, it opposes naturally the sun, which is in Aquarius. And these are two very opposing signs. One is about the self and the will, that's Leo. So when you have a full moon in Leo, the sun is reflecting off of it and it's shining its light down, sharing its self-expression on with everyone. And everyone feels that because it's the moon, right? And across from that, the sun is an Aquarius. And Aquarius is not so much about the self, but the self as it relates to the collective, to activism, to humanitarianism, things like that. So it's basically seeing the other. It's how you can express yourself within the collective, and it's really kind of a cool setup. This particular full moon. Also, with the eclipse that's occurring, the eclipse basically means the shadow is cast across that obscures the moon from the sun, meaning that there is in shadow. There is no light coming through, reflecting off of the moon. So the moon is dark. And this is the time actually of wonderful reflection on your inner self. Wonderful time for increased intuition, learning about yourself. Also a great time of creativity. It's going to be like your very fertile earth, you know, and any seeds of intention that you have now, any seeds of creativity that you plant at that time, so powerful. The fruits will be incredible. And the cool thing about eclipses, as I'm understanding it, is eclipses can have an effect for up to 6 months. So again, I'm not an astrologist officially yet, but I am learning more and more every day. It's very fascinating. And it's absolutely on point, actually. There's not a lot that you can say that's happening in astrology. It's not absolutely matched up in the world and current events right now. Other aspects going on besides that very important one, an impactful one. Again, the eclipse is a very important change, an impactful change for the next 6 months. It'll have an impact on your creativity. It'll have an impact on your spirituality, on getting to know yourself. The other great attributes or aspects that are in existence still is Jupiter in Libra. You know, that's going to be there for a while, and that's a very nice time for relationships and understanding each other. Still a lot of activity in Pisces. Neptune, of course, is still there. Chiron, of course, is still there. At a certain point this month, I do believe Venus is going to retrograde back into Pisces, but at the moment she's in Aries, along with Mars, and also Uranus. And Uranus is forming a trine with Leo and the Sun. And there's another trine, which is with Jupiter, the Sun, and Uranus. So there's just all sorts of really good, positive aspects occurring astrologically right now. So enough about that. Let's get into some tarot. I'm going to be using the Morgan Greer Tarot. Let me just adjust this. Excuse me. Okay, going to be using the Morgan Greer Tarot for the reading. I'm just going to do a Celtic cross spread, and then we'll go in and use the Keepers of the Light Oracle cards. This is, oops, there. This is by Kyle Gray with artwork by Lily Moses. And I think you'll agree, these are really beautiful cards. They're basically ascended masters and other wise people. So they have wonderful, peaceful, uplifting messages. So let's get started. I love the Morgan Greer deck. It's just like a 70s flashback. Lots of color and lots of handlebar mustaches. So enjoy this time for sure. I mean, if you are creatively inclined, now's the time to start working on things, especially starting on Friday and then carrying on, because wow, it's just really fecund earth. It's really fertile time to plant seeds. So very exciting. Oops. I don't want to do that one. One more, because I lost count. All right. Let's see what we need to know. Okay, so this is a collective tarot cards for humanity. So this is where we are now. This is where we're thinking, where our mind is. The energy is around that. Hope you can see. Yeah, I think you can. The foundation for the way we're feeling collectively again. What's on our mind, our recent past, our near future, how the world sees us or how we truly are, the energies around us truly without emotions involved, our hopes and fears, and our final outcome. And our overall energy is the Fool in reverse. The Fool in reverse can very often speak to being hasty, moving into new avenues, new endeavors, perhaps with a little bit of I know it all arrogance. So what we might want to be focusing on now is using the positive attributes of the Fool. In reverse, it's telling me that we might have a feeling that we know it all already and that there's nothing new to learn. But I think that we need to take that as a warning and really open up and listen. Listen to other people's perspectives. Listen to what our subconscious is telling us, what our intuition is telling us, okay? So that we can move forward with an open heart and an open mind and not trip ourselves up with preconceived ideas about things. All right, with that in mind, let's see where we are. All right, well, we are the Hanged Man in reverse. Here's the Hanged Man in reverse. The Hanged Man in its upright position has a lot to do, again, with looking at things from a new perspective. Sometimes it's a little bit of waiting, but when it's in reverse, the way we got it, there's not so much waiting, which is very likely with all of these astrological attributes as they are right now. Not so much waiting, but again, kind of like the Fool is telling us, we might be thinking that we've got all the answers. We might be feeling a little bit like a martyr. We might get a little bit too serious about self-righteous, I think is the word I'm looking for. We're getting a little bit self-righteous here. And that can happen when you think you know it all and you act like you think you know it all. So open the mind up. I think that's what that's telling us. The directed influence on this is the the Knight of Pentacles. And of all the knights, this is the knight that stands still. This is the knight that is about, he's the most probably practical, reliable. This would be a Virgo as well. So this could be a Virgoian, Virgo energy, which is very possibly going on because I believe there's an aspect here with Virgo of significance. Give me a second to look at that. Yes, the North Node is in Virgo, which basically is, and that is, hold on, the North Node is in an aspect with Mercury now in Aquarius. And that's basically taking a combination of, am I losing? There he is. And that's basically taking a combination of the two things. So basically, saying basically a lot. Mercury is about thinking and ideas. And in this time where we know any ideas that we start to put into play are going to show fruit. Virgo is the one that's going to keep you from making dumb decisions. It's going to keep you, this Virgo mentality around us is going to keep us, if we listen to it, from making stupid decisions, from making hasty decisions. It will keep us, it will stop and listen and say, listen to all the facts before you jump in so that we don't become self-righteous. Because as you can see with instant reverse, there's no waiting time. Things are happening quickly, especially with Mars and Uranus and Aries at the moment. Lots of activity quickly. So let's make sure that we pay attention at this point in time, although people consider this perhaps, the more boring of the knights. He's not a dashing knight in the romantic sense, but boy, you can count on this guy. This is a friend. And at this time when so much change is definitely happening, this is definitely your friend. This guy is definitely the energy that you want to encompass, that Virgo, intelligent, wise decision-making, earthly energy. Okay, that will keep us from being foolhardy. All right, the foundation for where we are at the moment thinking in our heads is the Ace of Rods in reverse. The Ace of Rods is anything that's happening creatively at its very root. Aces are the root or the very essence of something. That's why it belongs to Keter. However, when we have it in reverse, there's a feeling, there's a feeling of a lost, either a lost opportunity or a feeling of fatigue with the energy that needs to be put into something. So for example, it could be that we've been working toward a certain goal for some time, or we've had our ideas, flowing for a while, but nothing's come of it. It's either been slowed or there's been obstacles. And that's not uncommon with the retrograde that had happened, last month. What was it, December into January, and actually there's a shadow period which kind of took us to the end of January. So with this in reverse, this is the reason we're probably feeling that, yeah, we got all the answers. Obviously, what we've done before doesn't work, so I'm going to forget about it. And why there is a need for this practical, yeah, maybe things are moving slowly, but that's okay. That means that it'll be done correctly and intelligently. So this is probably the foundation, this general feeling of, well, you know what, I've been bicycling and bicycling, but I'm not getting anywhere. Now, our crowning thoughts, again, kind of reflecting this. This is the Six of Swords in reverse. It's about moving on to, in this case, it's the picture depicts people moving from a side of the water, an area of the water that's quite hefty and not hefty, but turbulent, to calm waters. And the swords that are there are thoughts. Those thoughts don't weigh the boat down. But in reverse, basically, it's telling us that the swords are weighing the boat down, that our thoughts are getting in the way. And this is our crowning thought card. So again, this feeling and this feeling, this is why we're sort of stuck, why we're sort of feeling like, yeah, we've already got the answers, I might as well throw the towel in, there's really no point in carrying on or moving forward with this. I've put as much energy as I can into this with no result. Why would I carry on? I already know it. Woe is me. I've already put in all this effort. And this guy is saying, no, hold on. Yeah, you put in effort. Yeah, there's been a Mercury retrograde, which slows everything down. But keep plugging along, keep carrying on, keep planting those seeds. Because eventually this will not weigh the boat down. This will allow you to move on to new and better things. Okay? In our recent past, we had the Queen of Swords. Queen of Swords is a Libra if it's a person, or it could be a male or a female, despite the fact that it's a Queen of Swords. It's an energy, and it is a cardinal energy, which would be Libra. However, it's in our past, so this could be a previous relationship. Because it's the collective, I tend to think that this is a situation in time where we might have used the diplomacy of Libra, the relationship skills of Libra in the past. And perhaps this is why we're feeling as though it's not getting us anywhere. We've been gentle, we've been kind, and it hasn't gotten us anywhere. Now, in the near future, we have the Nine of Swords in reverse. And this is basically being exhausted to the point. In other words, Nine of Swords is holding fast to the end. You're kind of tired, but you're holding guard until the end. In reverse, you're exhausted. You're exhausted to the point where you might even throw in the towel completely. And that kind of speaks to this energy. But this Libra energy is absolutely correct. So it's important to pay attention and remember that, yes, diplomacy is the way. Cooperation is the way. And taking slow baby steps, taking slow steps towards your goal is actually going to bring about the best result that you want. Now, where we truly are is the Seven of Swords in reverse. We have all the fight knocked out of us. Seven of Swords upright is valor. And it is 7, so it belongs to Netzach, which is the Venus. Venus rules Netzach. And it's where we've formed ideas, where we have formed concepts of how things are, constructs of how things are, whether it is a a deity that we've created in our head, or a fantasy or a goal in our mind. We haven't seen it as it hasn't come through to fruition. We fought and we fought, but the fight, you know, we're all fought out at this point. So we're feeling a little bit exhausted. But the actual energies around this are the Two of Pentacles, which kind of speaks to this particular pentacle, the Knight of Pentacles. We're not balancing our resources. We're not, you know, like the Temperance card, we're not using our head. We're not using logic. We have to remain grounded so that these things that we're balancing, these things that we are trying to handle while we reach our goals, our resources, both spiritual, physical, energetically. Because as you can see, that those two discs form a lemniscati, which means it's an eternal need for balance. This isn't just, you know, balance it for a while till we reach our goal. You know, the need to balance one's resources is an eternal thing. And it's all kinds of resources. It's not just finances. It's not just physical resources like health. It's also things like your time, where you spend your time, things like that. So, you know, perhaps there are things that you are spending your time on that will be better spent in another area. And this is a great time to do it, you know, again, because things are coming to fruition creatively. Perhaps you could take something that you, or some chunk of time that you're investing in something that may not really bring anything of worth to you, and instead reallocate those resources or that time to something that actually will help you further your goals. And again, it's baby steps. It doesn't have to happen all at once. Okay. Thoughts, hopes and fears. So our hopes is to have it all: family, wealth, prosperity, home, security, the 10 of Pentacles here. That's our hope. And the outcome is the Star in reverse. So this is the Aquarius card. This is the card of, you know, joy and happiness in its upright position, of hope. But in reverse, it's kind of like a loss of hope, a what's the word? Feeling empty or void of any hope or faith. I think faith is actually the word I'm looking for. So we have some reversed cards here, cards that potentially would be very good. The two of big note here that we need to really pay attention to are the overall energy here that we drew at the beginning. That's the Fool in reverse, being hasty, you know, going into a new situation with arrogance. We also have the Hanged Man in reverse. And again, these are all major arcana cards, so they're definitely an impactful energy. And this is being self-righteous, thinking that you know it all, and realizing that it's not going to be something that's going to take long to come to fruition. So we need to have an impact on these thoughts now. Elsewise, we will come to a point where we lose faith. Oops. Where we lose faith. So let's turn these around and get some more clarity on what we need to do. What kind of information or what kind of spiritual guidance that we need to employ. As I was saying earlier, this is the Keepers of the Light Oracle deck by Kyle Gray, and artwork is by Lily Moses, and I think you'll agree the artwork is just beautiful. One more. We'll get some clarity on the three major arcana. How can we turn these right side up? I think we know. We need to have some patience. We need to move a little bit slowly, methodically in what we're doing. So let's see what we can find out for the Fool, what we can find out for the Hanged Man and the Star, what we need to know. Because we don't know it all. Just because we're tapped out right now and it doesn't feel like we've seen the results of our labor doesn't mean things aren't going to be heading in a very new direction very quickly. So let's see if I can get some. Oh, there's one. So for the Fool, we got Gaia. Isn't that lovely? Focus. Earth connection. Be mindful of the planet. Come back to Earth and stay grounded, which actually speaks very much to this gentleman here. When he's moving too quickly, hastily, not thinking clearly and thoroughly about his actions. That's what happens when we get Gaia saying stay grounded. And also keep a connection with the earth, not just as in, you know, save it from absolute annihilation and destruction, but also in addition to moving in that way. Staying grounded is key. Staying grounded is key, and how this person operates. Is he fancy? No. Is he dashing and romantic? No. But he stayed, and he gets things done. He reaches his goals by methodically, faithfully keeping up with whatever goal or plan that he or she has. All right, let's get some clarification on the Hanged Man in reverse. Oh, sorry guys, this is going a little long. Oh, that's the one. No, that's not the one. That's the one. Krishna. Lovely artwork. Krishna is about devotion. So, and that's quite appropriate for the Hanged Man, as the Hanged Man is very much about spiritual enlightenment, about looking at life from a new perspective, i.e. upside down, and looking at things from above, the bigger picture. So Krishna says devotion. Trust your spiritual guidance. Your commitment has been recognized. You are loved unconditionally. So don't give up. You don't know it all. Don't be self-righteous. It's not that it hasn't come true yet. It's just that it hasn't been the right time for things to happen as they should. And believe me, now they will happen. So Krishna's reminding us to stay devoted to our spiritual path, that we are loved collectively, unconditionally, so that when we express ourselves, it really shows, it really shines through. All right, and then lastly, let's get some clarification on the star, and then I will shut up. Why did we get the star in reverse for final outcome? Ah, beautiful. We got the Shekinah. It's often said that the Shekinah is the serpents, or the feminine energy that's going up the middle pillar of the tree of life. It's the sacred self. She is also known as the female aspect of the Abrahamic God. So we'll carry on here. Here's the Holy Spirit, and it's the sacred self. Unleash your spirit, express your gifts, dance to the sacred rhythm of life. And I think that's the reminder, not to lose hope, but to remember who you are, to dance with the sacred rhythm of life, to unleash your spirit and to express your gifts. Trust in the universe. Have hope and trust. Just do it wisely. And remember, everything comes in the right time. Well, I hope this was helpful. I think we have some things that we need to look out for. Obviously, a tendency to perhaps be hasty, a tendency to be arrogant and to know it all, and a tendency to, give up, giving up just when things are getting started. But there have been some elements in play here, astrologically, like the retrograde, that can keep things from happening and make you feel as though you're bicycling backwards rather than forwards because you're not making any gained mileage. But now's the time. Now things are happening quickly. We know that we're divinely guided, that we're loved unconditionally. We're going to stay rooted with the energy of this Virgo here. Okay, we're going to remember diplomacy. It's important to remember the other. This is the 7th house, Libra, the other. So it's not just you and me, it's the collective. That way we don't get too hasty and get too, arrogant and forward pushing and overly Leo, but we engage, the other half, the other part of the world, the rest of the world, the other, that's Aquarius, that's the balance. And then if we renew that hope and we have that faith and we take that dance with the natural rhythm of life and we express ourselves just because we want to, like the Leo energy, then that balances out this Aquarian energy here. So we have the self-expressed and the self-needs met, but also the collective doesn't suffer because we've employed diplomacy. So again, I hope this helps. I think it was very good, actually. To me, reverse cards are an indication of where we can definitely focus our attention to make the change and make the ascension smooth. And remember, keep it step by step, little steps, but methodical, logical planning, and things will happen. Okay, thank you so much for watching. If you did hang in there this long, it's 25 minutes. Otherwise, have a wonderful full moon and full moon eclipse. Oh, if you are a magical person, absolutely a fantastic time to do workings, because eclipses will make it so, make sure you're careful what you wish for, but the eclipses will make it slow and impact your life for the next 6 months. And this kind of energy with Leo, ba-boom, that's fantastic. All right, thanks guys. You have a really good one.